On this week's episode of The Smoke Break, we talk with Jamal Coleman about risk-taking and anxiety management. We also talk with Tillman about what it takes to be a working performer. Stick around for a freestyle performance with Jamal and Beats by Free. Episodes drop on all platforms every Monday at 6 p.m. And welcome to The Smoke Break. We're here every Sunday from 9 to 10 a.m. on Shady Pines Radio, as well as Pretty Dope Experience Radio. I'm your host, your old pal Zane, here with Zoe Schwartz.
What up?
And Jamal Coleman.
Hey, what's up?
Thank you so much for joining us. I'm excited to have you. This is going to be a super dope episode. Jamal's going to do some freestyling later over some free Tillman beats, so just make sure you stick around for that or skip to the episode later part. It's fine. Speaking of risk, that was a risk opening on that note. But risk is something we're talking about. Jamal, you're moving soon, correct?
Yeah, I'm headed out to Vegas, the town of Risk.
Oh, I was going to say, they probably know all about risk. But yeah, moving can be sort of a risk. What's made you decide to make that jump?
I'm a bet on black.
You know, bet on black. Okay, I like that. That's not a bad answer.
Well, I took a risk moving up here. I'm from Los Angeles originally, and I took a risk coming up here trying to make some money and do some touring.
Sure.
And the pandemic happened.
Yes.
And then I took a risk with my life being a, what do they call them? People that worked all the damn time during the pandemic. I forgot what they
Americans.
Pretty much, yes. So plus I was an at-risk youth, so my whole life has just been rolling the dice and seeing what's up. So this next adventure is a close of a chapter in some aspects, but it's an opening of a new book in another aspect.
Yeah, no, I think that, we take risks all the way throughout our life, and, depending on whether or not we see if there's a reward that's worth that risk, we kind of decide whether or not we're going to do that. Zoe, what does that make you think of?
I don't know. It just makes me think about like the things that we're often afraid of are often the things that like will bring the most like expansive or the most growth in our lives. Like that's a pattern I've noticed is like, yeah, the stuff I'm scared of that feels like a risk is usually like the most like, what's the word I'm trying to think of? Like it just produces the most growth and change in my life and brings me things that I like wanted, but was afraid to have, so I think in that way, like risk is.
Yeah, it's important.
It's like leaning into the things that scare you because they're the things you really want.
True.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys are familiar with David Goggins.
Oh.
No, David Goggins is like this military dude. He was like he has like the pull-up bar world record. He's like one of those Iron Man runner type dudes.
Yeah.
And his whole thing is about building mental fortitude.
Okay.
And the only way you could do it is by pushing through fear and taking risks.
Yeah. Okay. So
you know what I mean? You got to put it all out there to see how far you can go.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So what makes what do you think makes a healthy risk?
A healthy risk, I mean, you got to weigh your options. There's like an actual business term for it, but you got to strategize. You got to weigh your opportunities versus your threats. I think it's called a SWOT analysis.
Yeah, SWOT analysis.
Yes, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats.
I had to do that in school.
Okay,
it's a SWOT analysis. Yeah. So I do a SWOT analysis for everything. Is like, is it more? And always the answer to before I do the equation, the answer is how is this going to affect my peace? Am I going to be at more peace or is this going to be stressful?
Wow, that's a solid question. I really need to start asking myself more of.
Yeah, I didn't think about using this. Remind me what it stands for again.
Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So what are my strengths? If I go to a new city, I am a hustler. I know I can make some money. I know I can meet people. I know what are my weaknesses? I have to get there. I might not have the money to get there. So I'll work on my weaknesses and build up some money so I can get there because I know my strengths will carry me when I get there.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah,
what are my opportunities?
Yeah.
I have a lot of opportunities out there. What are my threats? I might not have as many threats or I have a lot of threats or I need to address a person to get a threat out of the way.
I remember it's basically like a pros and cons list, but it's like internal pros and cons and external pros and cons.
Yes.
But it's just like a more detailed way to analyze risk versus cost, basically. No, but I'm glad you reminded me of that because they had it. I can't remember what we had to do it for in school, but
I think that's a really cool way of like, just kind of like assessing a situation and trying to figure out like where your place is in it.
It's like me mixing, the end goal is my peace. So that's my emotional health, my mental health. That's what everything should be about. And then I got to figure out, are these things worth that.
Yeah. That's such a great perspective. Can we just turn off the episode now? I mean, we learned everything we needed to, right? How much longer does this thing need to go? No, I really appreciate that. So like, what are some risks that you might be, or some challenges that you might be facing when moving over there?
Well, I'm currently, I just broke up with my girlfriend and I have to live with her for another month and a half.
Okay.
So that is definitely like,
I like how me and Zoe are both, I was going to say, me and Zoe are both therapists. We're like, how do we react to this? I'm not a therapist, but I was just like, do we congratulate you? Is this a good thing? It's a
good thing.
Okay. I feel
I'm excited. I'm ready to move on with my life. It was a mutual agreement. But there's still definitely emotions.
Yeah. Sure.
And those threaten my peace.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, just even if there's no communication when you're standing next to somebody that you're not talking to, your nervous system is reacting.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. No, I think that's
that's like one major, threat to my risk. I still have to communicate and figure out what stuff is mine and hers and all of these things. That's like the biggest hill that I have to climb.
Yeah, it's kind of just like putting everything to peace here so that way you can have peace there.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, within that, I'm thinking, okay, is it worth my peace to fight over this TV, or just say you fuck it, you take everything and I'll just leave?
This is now your TV.
Exactly. So I'm also a divorcee, so I've been through this already.
Yeah. Well, and I think that that even kind of tracks with the risk of bringing up that something is a problem. Like, is my peace going to be the result of bringing up this as a problem?
Right. So sometimes you gotta choose your battles. When I got divorced, I fought tooth and nail to keep my couches that I paid $1,000 for, but it was not peaceful.
Not peaceful. Yeah. Was not ultimately worth the reward.
And then when you sat on them, you couldn't relax afterwards.
I don't even know what these fucking couches are now. You know what I mean? Like, I think one is at my brother's house. My mom sold some. I don't. It was.
Well, and I think some of the things that like we're worried about, like those risks that we have like placed high in our head, that we're like, oh, this is this really huge thing, that it is something you kind of look back at and you're like, man, I don't even remember what that was about.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, you remember if it paid off, and like you remember sometimes the times that it didn't. But I think that, ultimately a lot of the stuff, everything in between kind of gets forgotten,
100%.
You remember the times that you didn't go for it. You remember the times that you did, but everything in between, gone.
Man, I don't even remember the times, when you think about it, like a Michael Jordan or Kobe type person, and they hit all these big shots and take these big risks at the end of games. Do you think they think about all the shots they missed that game?
God, no.
No.
They don't remember none of that. We don't remember stuff like that. You just remember the times that you went for it and you won.
Yeah.
That's how memories are. Memories are just snapshots of high emotion points.
Yeah, definitely.
And the joy and happiness and gratitude are the biggest emotions that you can fabricate as a human being. So when you hit that bucket and everybody's lifting you over your shoulders, you just won the game. You do not remember the first shot you missed.
Yeah, exactly. Zoe, what does that make you think of?
Well, I was thinking about how, when you said like moving to, like, about the idea of like it being the goal is like your peace.
Right.
I was thinking about like how to know like if the risk is a good risk. I was thinking about like the idea of like your values, like what is your values? And I don't know if this makes sense, but like maybe the value for you is like your peace of mind.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest value is finding myself valuable.
Yeah.
My own self-worth is more valuable than anything. How I look and believe in and treat myself is invaluable. Because ultimately, I'm the person who's gonna put me on a pedestal or kill myself.
Ultimately, yes, 100%.
You know what I mean? Everybody's outside validations or criticisms may, push my boat from side to side, but I can only sink it or float it.
Yeah.
And so if I don't have that value within myself first, then this is something I had to develop over time.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
This wasn't just an overnight thing.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, as long as you watch this episode, you should be fine tomorrow. So you're welcome. We cured you.
You're cured.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just thinking about like that's part of how I like try to decide if a risk is worth it or not. Is like, is it aligned with my values? Like, is it? Yeah, but I would also say like sometimes the things they do cause anxiety, but it's like deciding whether that anxiety is like a level of anxiety that I should be moving towards because I need to move through it, versus a sign of anxiety that's like, this is something that maybe isn't making me happy or isn't
Right.
good for my nervous system. So like, do you ever feel like the things you move towards or the things that you're taking risks at like also produce a manageable amount of anxiety, or like
I feel like
how do you think
all
about that?
my anxiety is based off of my imagination thinking about the future of an outcome that I don't want.
Mhm.
And that's similar to like skiing and being like, don't hit the trees, don't hit the trees, don't hit the trees. You're gonna
You're gonna
hit
hit
the
the
fucking
tree. Yeah,
trees.
it's what you're gonna think about. Yeah, the thing you're
So-
focusing on is the thing you're gonna go
So
towards.
even freestyling, similarly, is just like, don't say a word, don't say a word, don't say a word.
Exactly.
You're gonna say the word. Yeah.
So instead of like really, it took me a long time, but I'm trying to focus on the things that, instead of thinking about how it used to be or how it could be fucked up, I'm thinking about the best case scenarios. What is the best case scenario? If I go to Las Vegas, could I be the mayor of Las Vegas? How many connections could I pull together
Do you
to
wanna
make
be
me the mayor?
Yeah.
Instead of thinking, damn, I could go out there and be homeless and have to fucking borrow money from tourists.
Yeah. No, well, I think
Or
that,
steal
corporations don't count. No, but I think that, just the way that you were kind of like weighing risks and deciding like, okay, if this is the best case scenario, because our inclination is to like think the worst, like what's the worst that could happen? I have to keep myself safe. I have to protect myself. I have to protect my peace. And it's like, it's always thinking about what's the worst case scenario. But it's like, I think something that is really helpful is when thinking about risk, what is the best possible thing that could happen?
Fear and faith are both the same thing. They're your imagination of the future. It's just a good or a bad scenario. So instead of going, I fear all these things, and which is going to create so much anxiety that I'll be crippled and not even take the risk.
Yeah.
Then I'll build the opposite way and go, oh, this could be amazing.
Yeah.
I could be missing out the best part of my entire life if I don't take this risk. I better do this.
Damn, you're making me feel like I missed out on 31 years.
No.
You have.
But what about the idea of
That's
like
good.
having to fail, like that like failing is part of succeeding too, though. So what if, like, yeah, obviously you're not going to go into taking a risk being like, I'm probably going to fail. But what if you went into this risk like, I'm going to get whatever I get out of it. And if I fail, that's just part of the journey of moving towards wherever I'm going to end up. Like, because, people say you fail a million
There's
times.
like this exercise I did. I took a bunch of Tony Robbins, like UPWs and stuff like that, helping with my mental mindset. And there's this exercise he does where you like twist around and you point with your finger. And first you imagine how far you can go, and then you go and do it. And then you imagine yourself twisting in like 720 circles, and then you'd point again, and then your body allows you to point further. You limit yourself by thinking what you can or can't do. If you imagine that you can go to the moon, if you make it to the atmosphere, that's further than just staying on the ground.
Yeah. And
So you just gotta imagine the best case scenario. The dream as big as you possibly can.
Yeah.
'Cause if you fall short, you'll still be significantly further than you were.
Yeah. Definitely. Well, and I think that even just like that in that exercise of us, like these limiting beliefs that we have about ourselves, I think that really, is kind of like a physical representation of like how much we can limit ourselves just by putting like a belief on I think it's going to go like this. I think it's going to go like this. It's like, what if it just goes?
Right.
What if it goes?
You don't know everything.
There's
so many variables in the universe and life and quantum mechanics and everything else.
My God.
Like, just do your best. And I feel like when you build momentum of like a karmic momentum when you're doing something positive and good, and especially if you're doing it for more than just yourself.
That's true.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like the universe kind of aids you to do whatever you're dreaming of because it's going to help people.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, definitely feel that.
Yeah, the only time I felt the universe conspire was in Final Destination. But that just seems way more likely. I'm just, okay. All right. Zoe heard that joke at the open mic I did the other night when I took a risk. Pew, pew.
My favorite Final Destination is the one where she gets trapped in the tanning bed and like burns alive.
Yeah.
But it's because like a mouse chewed a cord and then a thing fell over.
Doesn't that seem way more likely than all of my positive thoughts lining up to make things?
Yeah, and
I believe in manifestation, but I also believe in Final Destination.
They're both the same thing.
That's why I don't tan anymore, you guys, because
That
now
is
when I'm
true.
in there,
they're thinking that they're going to die. Therefore,
You know how many celebrity stories or they accidentally did some shit and had to meet this person and all of a sudden they're like rapping in front of Puff Daddy or whatever. Like,
yeah.
It happens in the positive too. Nobody likes to focus on the good.
Yeah. Amen to
the fear and the anxiety is so dramatic, and the human beings get addicted to those chemicals we've been pushing in their brain. So that's why I try to manage my chemical input and output so that I can manage my stress and anxiety so that I can make decisions not based on fear or my body feeling fear.
That's perfect. All right. Well, we're going to move into our next portion and take a real quick commercial break first. You were listening to The Smoke Break. We're here every Sunday from 9 to 10 a.m. on Shady Pines Radio, as well as Pretty Dope Experience Radio. All right. We're back. We're going to talk about anxiety and anxiety management.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah. Risks. That's where we started. Anxiety. That's where you kind of start going towards.
Yes. I'm going to have to take 2 back steps real quick.
Please.
When I was like 7, I was in a drive-by.
Okay.
I didn't know that it affected my life until I was like 37.
Sure.
I just thought everybody grew up with getting shot at.
Yeah, right?
I've been shot at a lot, but after that as well. So I got diagnosed with PTSD C, which is complex, which is like it's not just one event, but several events that create this stress in you. And when you're like living in the fight or flight.
Fight or flight.
There you go.
We got you.
Fight or flight.
Or freeze.
Freeze or fawn. There's 4 of them.
Yeah, there's 4, yeah.
Whenever I got triggered, I would just go into one of those zones, and I lived in those spaces for so long, it became natural to me. My original rap name was Panic.
That's a sweet ass name.
And it was because they were like, hey, Jamal, freestyle. And I was like, what Panic freestyle? And they were like, I couldn't stop because it was just all my nervous system making me, active.
Yeah, it was like a reaction.
I rapped for, professionally for many, many years. And every show I was going to throw the fuck up before I went up. I was nervous. Thought I was going to forget all my lyrics. Even though I never did. And if I did, I could freestyle.
Yeah, right.
So after many, many, many years and getting diagnosed, I went to like the doctor for like a general checkup. And they did, they do the heart thing on you, and they're like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." He's like, "Did you smoke weed today?" I was like, "No, I haven't smoked weed today." He's like, "Your heart is like 150 beats per minute. It's like you're like a tiger is chasing you." Yeah. And I was like, "Really? This is how my heart feels all the time."
It's not supposed to do this.
This is weird.
And so he diagnosed me with PTSD. So much so, like, he prescribed meditation for me.
Damn.
So then I started a journey on with transcendental meditation, which was helping me to learn how to breathe deeply. Learn how to, it's a mantra-based meditation. So it's also called samadhi meditation, which helps you separate from your body. And once I could separate from my body, then I could explore consciousness and feel at peace.
Well, that's interesting because I feel like when I'm anxious, I feel separated from my body, but yours is probably better because it's intentional.
No, it's the same thing. It's a disassociation.
Yeah.
But what happens when you're meditating is you separate from your body, you become consciousness. When you're triggered, you separate and become the body. And now you're just reactive. You're just a knee-jerk reaction. Somebody says something, you're like, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So I spent, decades being a reactive person and trying to figure out how to be a proactive person.
Yeah.
How can I get, anger is all this anger built up in me. How can I stop being triggered? How can I stop blowing up on people? How can I not give them this power over me to put me under this spell? My grandfather once told me, he was like, it's a game that you have to play because he grew up in the 50s where people, 50s, 60s, racism.
Yeah, racism. You remember.
Good old-fashioned racism.
You remember.
America. And it was a game that they would play, white people used to play with him, and it was called Trigger the Nigger. And they would do whatever they could, say whatever they could to get you out of your character and make you, and he was like, they tried to make me lose my religion.
Yeah.
He's a good old Christian guy, you know. But, after being called the N-word so many times and pushed and shoved and getting your books knocked out of your hands, you're going to want to fight somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
So I learned that, I had to do studying about the human body and the human mind. And the first thing I learned was probiotics and gut bacteria.
Okay.
Your bacteria in your gut affect your mood. So if you're not eating well or you're not getting the proper probiotics,
or not eating at all. They don't have bad bacteria, technically. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Like,
the bacteria will tell you what to do, what to feel, how to be, and that's how you will live your life. If you're not properly have all the the sodium, potassium, magnesium, and calcium, that's going to dictate your mood. If you have a vitamin deficiency of any kind, that's going to dictate your mood.
Yeah.
When you have a bad day, You can have a bad mood. You do that for a long time. It's a temperament. You do that for longer. That's a character.
Yeah.
They do that for longer. That's their personality.
Yeah.
And then you're like, damn, fucking Zane is an angry person.
Yeah.
When you just had one bad day a couple years ago and you just keep reliving.
Yeah. And then I had a bad day that I turned into a bad year.
Exactly. And we've all been there.
For sure.
So well, I'm trying to figure out how to be proactive and fight all this shit so that I give myself the highest benefit to like not be so reactive. The very first thing I did was smoke a shit ton of weed.
Okay. How's that going?
I'm still smoking a shit ton of weed.
Okay. So, well.
It's going great. You know, but you have to educate yourself on weed too. You got to know your terpenes. You got to know what strains are good for you. You got to know who grew it and how they grew it and what chemicals or not chemicals they put in. Is it organic? Is it salt fed? You got to know all that stuff because I was
put
smoking
salt in weed?
Dude, they...
Zoe's
Soil.
like, yeah. I've heard.
Yes. If it's not organic and grown right, it can give you anxiety. And you'll be like, man, I don't know why I'm feeling so anxious today. I have all these bubbly, and you smoke weed and you have a panic attack or you feel paranoia. Somebody call the hospital. I can hear my heart beating. My hair's growing. I can hear it.
Yeah.
It's because it was grown poorly or you don't know your terpenes.
I think that like I have this hesitancy to smoke weed because I associate it with being anxious. You know, I associate it with being anxious, being paranoid. But I think that, you know, it was one bad day that I turned into a bad year. And it's like, it's because I have this negative association with it that I go into every situation with that idea that this is going to happen and almost create it, you know, kind of tracking back to manifestation. If I'm sitting here thinking this is going to go bad and, you know, like in every which way, like there's almost no other choice for, even if it went fine, I would still find a way that I saw that it went bad.
Yes. I mean, that's our superpower is believing. That's every human being's superpower. Whatever you believe is the truth. So if you believe, you know, every time I smoke weed, every time I eat a sandwich, I fucking take my pants off. You're going to do it. It doesn't matter what it is. That's what you believe. So you have
take
to
my shirt off.
You know, that's why
Make room for more sandwich.
Journal.
I just don't want to stain my shirt.
Document what you do, what your thoughts are, what you behave, so you can come back to it and be like, damn, I was tripping last week.
Well, I mean, journals I've found, and maybe you can tell me a little bit about, have you journaled a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I don't do it nearly as consistently as I should, but it's cool because you can go back and see you forget how much you've grown, I think, or how much you've changed, because sometimes you feel like, man, I'm still struggling with this shit or whatever, and then you go back and read if you are writing somewhat regularly, and you'll be like, oh no, it was a lot harder 6 months ago. But we don't notice those like little differences. So I think for that reason, there's a lot of learning about our growth that we can see.
The
from
human
writing.
brain is so weird, man. We don't remember accurately.
No, our memories suck. We're based in emotion,
and our brain changes. You know, your cells and shit. Yeah, like you don't have the same brain you had at the time when you experienced that thing. So when you document something, you can actually give yourself a lot more grace, or you can be like, oh man, I really pushed through that.
Yeah, it gives you more
or
perspective.
just like accurately represent like how you were feeling or how things were because you have it documented, instead of like this idea of like, I think that went really bad.
Or just like things have always been this hard, and you're like, no, they were harder.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I usually realize.
Or you had a good time, and you was like, oh, this is my whole life sucks, and you'd be like, oh wait, actually, I had a really good.
Yeah, I remember that's one of my favorite things is kind of like looking back on like those triumphs, you know, because it's like I feel like I feel like I don't tend to journal if I'm feeling good. I'm usually just like, I'm feeling bad and I need to get this on paper, and it's like, but I think even in positive things, being able to look back at that thing I thought I couldn't do, that thing that you know, I surprised myself and did, or, you know, that thing that was really hard, like being able to look back at those things and see the progress that we made, I think for me would make a huge difference.
It's invaluable.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, being able to see your own algorithm.
You know? That's a good way of thinking about it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, it's like how they follow you online and know what you want to buy. You could do that for yourself.
Yeah.
But I only journal through traumatic times. I was like, okay, just had a breakup, pull out my notepad.
That's usually when I do it too.
Yeah.
And then it's just me hyping myself up about how I'm okay and I'm going to get through this. And then when I think about how bad it was and tough it was, and I go look at this journal, I was like, no, I was fine. I made it okay.
Yeah. Well, and something I wanted to say about what you'd said, Zoe, about like looking back and being like, yes, this was a lot harder 6 months ago. Like, I think my expectation is always that like I'm so far separated that like by the next time time I journal, this isn't a problem anymore. And it's like just recognizing it's not as much of a problem is a big step.
That is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Huge.
That means you're breaking a pattern and you're aware of breaking a pattern, which is dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went down the whole road of all the psychedelics.
Sure.
I did the weed. I've done micro doses of mushrooms, micro doses and macro doses of LSD. Mushrooms are really good for anxiety. They're the nature's natural antidepressant. You cannot be sad eating mushrooms. It's physically impossible. But you can't always drive a car when you eat them either.
Yeah.
Or go to work.
Take the good. Yeah.
I mean, you can go to work.
You could. You might lose your job from laughing, but
they're gonna love you.
Depends on
at
how
work.
serious your job is.
Yeah.
Right.
My job would not be happy.
Yeah. If you were just selling weed, they'd be giving you high fives.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If you're a therapist laughing at people's problems, then probably not.
No.
No, we're laughing with it. What do you mean you're not laughing with me?
No, it's kind of funny if you think about it like
that. Your mom hits you. No, I get it. No, but so I tried all that stuff, and it's expensive and it is time consuming. You can't just
Can't trip for 15 minutes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I went into breath work. I did some breath work, and that you can change your mood in a minute with breath work, which is
Really?
amazing. So I really I went down the whole Wim Hof, the Iceman path, and all those different modalities of breathing, and you can really get trauma out of your body with some breathing.
Really?
If you breathe real heavy and deep for like 3 minutes, you'll cry. You'll be like, that was fucking relieving.
Jamal, do you know about the polyvagal theory?
Yeah, I do.
That shit's
Yes.
really
Okay.
interesting.
Polyvagal theory is something that has to do with your vagus nerve. So your vagus nerve is the long nerve. It runs all your brain, all your organs, and it's what triggers your stress and all this other shit.
Okay.
So if you know how to stimulate your vagus nerve, you can relax yourself in seconds. And there's so many different ways to do it. Deep breathing is one way.
There's like turning and stuff.
Turning,
too. Like
swinging your arms from side to side. Most of the things that
breathing
you
too,
would do in Qigong or Tai Chi is
Okay.
so I do a lot of Qigong. I do like 10 minutes every morning, and maybe if I'm lucky, 15 minutes at night. And this helps me ground my energy, helps me stay calm and relaxed, but maximize my energy and focus. It's like a walking meditation.
Yeah.
So I'll meditate, I'll Qigong. Then I start with my supplements.
Yeah.
So
this is why I'm so relaxed right now. You guys gave me one before the show.
My leg is still tapping, but less than normal.
I haven't said nearly enough. So.
Green tea has an ingredient in it called L-theanine, and that's what makes green tea relaxing. So I just take L-theanine capsules. These are like, you can't OD on them. It's not dangerous. If I'm like think I'm going to have a stressful day, the 200 milligrams, one capsule is like the max. Like I'll eat 4 of these things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like let me get, and then I'll drink some green tea and I'll be like, I'm so chill and focused.
Yeah.
Then, this is my number one go-to. This is ashwagandha. If you're not familiar with ashwagandha, it's what's been used for 5,000 years for stress management. It regulates all your hormones and your pituitary gland, which is the master gland to all your glands. So it pretty much balances all your hormones. But the most important thing is it balances your stress hormones. So it limits how much cortisol you can put in your body so you actually don't get stressed out about anything. So like I eat these regularly, and they're really great for your reproductive organs and all that stuff. They're like if you're having dick problems or you don't have that WAP, ladies, get you some ashwagandha. It will help you juice up and stiff up.
Yeah.
But these are the number one go-to to stay calm and relaxed.
Same.
I was like just worried about the camera, so I was just agreeing readily. I'm just like,
can we laugh about that, please?
I was just like, yeah, that's so funny. I was just like, yes.
I'm all Zane. He said
the wet ass pussy pills. The wet ass pussy pills. But there's different forms of magnesium, maybe like 5 or 6 or 7.
Okay.
But some of them, magnesium citrate, you're probably more familiar with.
That's the one I know about.
That is like a laxative. So that's what they give people when you have a colonoscopy. You drink them.
And lax is because it relaxes you, right?
It will relax your intestines.
It's a relaxative. Okay, gotcha.
But I take magnesium glycate. Most human beings on the planet right now are not getting enough magnesium. You're either deficient or completely low on it. I take 500 milligrams a day. If you take this before bed, you will sleep like a fucking baby.
Okay.
This is what cured my insomnia. This is like magnesium for the win. But if I need like a little extra dose of, like if I stay up later, I'm having like jet lag or something like that. I use these patches. They're from a company called Wellamoon, but they're patches. They have like 7 milligrams of melatonin and some other natural ingredients, hops, something else, valerian root, and something else. And I put that on, and 2 hours, I'm like, I'm done.
Okay.
Sleep through the night, wake up, refresh.
Well, no, I mean, that's just as somebody who is like trying to find ways to manage my anxiety. Like, I mean, between breathing, between like some of these supplements that I definitely want to check out. I'm going to get those names from you later.
For sure.
I think that's.
This is the baseline. This is like, I wake up in the morning and I take all this shit and I do all that shit just so I could, not wake up nervous.
No. And I think that like even I'm supposed to take lithium like before I go to bed, but I forget. So I take it in the morning. But I think it would be more helpful if I took it before sleep, just because like waking up into the day without feeling that anxiety, like
it's the way the hormones work too, is when you go to bed, when you go to sleep or when you get into darkness, your brain starts going, it's melatonin time. You start getting sleepy. And then when you wake up in the morning, as soon as you hit light touches your face, it's cortisol time and it spikes your stress so you can wake up. But if you can limit how much cortisol it gives you, you won't be people wake up in the morning cranky or angry or agitated. I used to have my best friend used to wake up fully pissed every morning.
I do. Yep.
It's because your cortisol, your adrenal glands are overproducing.
It's the circadian rhythm, right? Like the hormones are regulated by like the light and dark. Or like plants.
Yes. So get more sunlight. And
it's like our chlorophyll.
Darkness.
It's like our chlorophyll kind of or something.
Before bed. No screen time. 2 hours before bed.
I'll work on it. We're going to take a real quick commercial break. We'll be right back with the smoke break. We're here every Sunday from 9 to 10 a.m. on Shady Pines Radio. And we are back with the smoke break. We are going to have a little cypher session here with Jamal Coleman, who is going to be rapping over some Free Tillman beats. If you haven't checked him out, check out Free Tillman on all platforms. And just go ahead and drop that beat. I'm excited to check this out.
How you want to do it? You want to do like hip hop Olympics, or you want to just let me go?
I believe in you. I believe in you. I just saw this fool freestyle for like 20 minutes straight. So there's not a thing you could do. Make some magic.
All right, let's do it. Free. Yo. Okay. Hey, yo, I'm about to spill, man. I got that beat from Free Tillman, and we about to kill, man. Oh, I'm on the Smoke Break podcast, and I need a smoke break. Okay, take me a spot then. I put the cushion in the air when we off air, but when we on air, I just roll up the orange hairs and put them in a joint. I'm trying to use my voice. I'm trying to tell you how to get your girl moist. Make the right choice. Oh yeah, we going boing, bouncing, flipping the coin, trying to flip an ounce quick. You trying to get back at him. I'm back in it. I'm back in the track like the vocals, that's my ad-libbing. I'm just jibbing and jabbing, using my gift to gab this rapping. I'ma show you how I'm rapping like a gift. It ain't Christmas, but we in the present though. I'm lyrical. Presidential, no bezel though. I'm about to tell you how I get money, no embezzle though. Yo, I'm trying to make my pretzel dough. Yeah, get it folded and flip it. I'm just holding the biscuit and I'm getting it, sipping it, dipping it, eating it, feeling it. That's nutrition, bitch. Now wash my dishes then and make it quick. Get it soap and bubbly, get your palm olive, make your hands softer. This is me spitting all this rap opera. I'm the Phantom of the Opera with no mask on. Took my mask off, about to blast off like I'm NASA. Better ask the actors who got character. It's all me though, I'm peaceful. I'm looking in my soul. I saw inequities and sinful shit, but I just cleaned it out real quick with that same palm olive. I'm about to drop bomb shit. You ain't even know it was profit. Because I foreseen it. I feel semen and I pour semen down your girl's throat with my horse DIC, bitch. That's a horse dick. And I'm wearing Trojans. Fucking the hell in Detroit. I'm destroying your boy. This is real easy, man. I'm going boing, boing, bouncing off the walls like the sound does. But we in the soundproof booth, so the sound's dead as fuck. Like your rhymes is when you get beat-headed. I spit it, unlit it, and you still getting gassed up. Puff the gas up in the sky. My volume's going up and down like fireworks in July. On the 4th though, this is how it go when I pull out my fork slow. Put it in the pork and I don't eat that. I don't eat that. You don't want beef, cat. You chicken. You can be the scapegoat. Look at me take flows, put them around my neck like it's fake gold. Leave all the greenery, hey, and the scenery. I get an energy boost from celery juice. I'm killing you fools in the booth when I spit it. I'm dripping. Body shit get a bib in here. It's like I'm cracking lobsters. Watching movies with mobsters. You watching movies with toddlers. Watching me coming up like a monster. Godzilla, I'm ripping G's, ODs off of my zippers. I'm getting ya on your knees though. Put a zipper down, XYZ though. This is zebra flow. Black and white, not black and yellow. Not gonna beat Wiz Khalifa, but I might smoke a yellow. I mean, I smoke a black and mild. Act wild. I'm that style. And I do it so easy. Puffing clouds up in the sky. Watch it drip down. It's drizzling. It's cold. It's the Doppler, bitches. I'm getting too much cake, you peach cobbler niggas. I'm about to just rock it. Watching your mama cooking in the pot with the greens. Them some collards. I took it off the collar, off the rock waller. Now they barking at you. I'm about to spark it at you. And you're ducking down. Watch it now. I just got that sound. It go down like it's heavy. I lift it up like the front end of a Chevy. When you're hitting switches, that's an Impala, bitches. I'm jumping like an Impala, jumping over a thicket, trying to get away from a lion, jumping over rivers, and you can't even see the crocodile. Wait, that's the crocodile tear, and a smile in here. Used to be sad, but now my career is gratitude. Every day, that's my attitude. Guarantee that, please believe that. If you didn't know I'm ice cold in the steam bath, you might need some icicles. You might need your bicycle, like Debo, getting it snatched though. This is my Friday, wait, this is Saturday, on a podcast where we smoke and there's no smoke break, but I just smoked the Canagard to the whole face. Oh, I smoke a whole zone. I smoke so much dope, I smoke a hole in the ozone. I saw the hole in the ozone and filled it with the holes on. I smoke when I smoked them rings of O's. Didn't know how the thing would go. I'm the kingpin of flows and you about to get knocked down. If you got a red neck with these black balls, this is just me coming out the alley with it. Out the gutter with it, out the valley with it. I'm from Cali with it, but I'm out here in Portland and Oregon with it. I'm exploring it. It's a vision. I'm trying to get up in it. It's never been division. It's been multiplications when I add it. It's never been subtracted. I'm a mathematician, wizard, trying to get with it. I'm about to stick to the wall like a lizard. You about to disappear real quick. Oh shit, we flipping. I don't remember this shit. How could I remember it? We just got it. I'm about to deliver it. You just got it. This is just me, just profit. I just concocted these rhymes off the thought, bitch, off my consciousness. I just went to the quantum realm and I took it from them, the Akashic records. Watch this record, just be spinning off my head like I'm reckless. No necklace, I just be headed. You got about 5 seconds to get your last message before you dead it. I said it, I meant it, I did it. Fresh like fresh edition, fresh mint with it. It's new edition like I'm Bobby with it. I be chilling in the lobby. Hey, she want that Dragon Ball Z like this Toonami. Hey, I guess I'm about to say I did it. Say I did it. Say I'm kidding. Y'all just flip it, just like bacon in a skillet. Y'all eat bacon? Y'all just kidding. Y'all probably eat shit less meat. Y'all should probably eat less meat. Less you beating on your meat, and you about to just ski. This is just me with the freestyle, having this fun. Yeah, freestyle over here, and I'm rapping with fun. Yeah, we freestyle and we don't even need no gun. Nah. You don't wanna get none. This is me spitting some, getting it off my fucking chest. Y'all better sit down, get some rest. Y'all better stop smoking that cess. Better get some dope shit. Get it so fresh. You might lose focus when you lost your head. So don't lose your head. Keep your temper on the low. I'ma make it bubble though, like we bout to boil it. Y'all just be roiling. Okay, you some loyalists. I'm about to show you how we going in. Hypodermic needle. Show you how my people be peeping through your peephole. Keep it secret, keep it in the low, like D-Lo. You know how we go. Hey, low key, I wanna be singing in the D note, C note me, deep throat me, how we go. We be going through these ups and downs like pogos, yo-yos, you know how it go. We better take a photo for your IG. I be going in like your IV. I be profin, the dope shit, now feel me. You ain't feeling this? You must be paraplegic then. You picking your seed out with tweezers? You better get some better weed then. Call your weed man, I call him fireman. And if I need the heat man, I'm calling up the Iron Man. I know a lot of niggas that had heat, they was ironing because of their environment. I guess I'm a survivalist to live in this filthy environment like a fire ant. And I got some soldiers that'll fire on your ass. Fire, fire, fire. This ain't no fire drill. This is my entire skill. This is how I spit, spill, feel like a landfill. When you stand still in it, now you about to feel the toxic Avenger. I'm a bust rocket with ya. My rap name is Prophet, my real name Jamal. You might be in your pockets if I take it off. I'm about to rip it off, all against the odds. It might be even, like Steven. Wasn't that a TV show back in the 90s or some shit? I'm reminiscing, this is how I'm spitting. You might be thinking, I should be listening. You should be listening, cause I'm saying some shit, man. You should probably rewind this whole podcast so you can hear me drop jams. I'm dropping gems, man. You should probably listen. Look, go into quantum field, man. Pick out your subatomic particle and make it into a molecule so that you can make it into matter and make your shit matter. I make your shit shatter. Then I smoke my shatter out the dab rig. People like, that shit right there's real ill. I know, I'm an oil rig, cause I spit spill and watch it be slick. You better check your oil stick, cause we going down on this. The guitar in the background making me think of some more shit. Sometimes when I was a kid, I used to wish I was an orphan in an orphanage. But I was just peeling through layers of my consciousness like an orange peel. And then when I got to the middle, I pulled out the slices. I said, damn, this is my shit, this is my shit, this is my shit, this is your shit, this is your shit. I didn't like that rotten shit. I just like that fruit shit, the ripe shit. And then I was like, damn, I'm alright then. I'm enlightened, and now I'm floating. I'm traveling with my trident like Poseidon on the back of Leviathan. Y'all not even knowing that I'm a Nephilim giant when I'm rhyming. I'm just trying to slow down so y'all know exactly what the timing is. Cause I can do it all ways. I can do it all cool plays. I can do it all blaze. I can do this shit all day. I can do it like Scarface. I got dope on my face. I know I do it all day. I probably need to shave. I probably need a day to just relax before I fuck around and do dope and relapse. I know y'all niggas don't really wanna be me. You wanna be on TV, yeah, we got it. And we cleaning everything on the windshield with no EG. Bored? Okay, I'm bored. Everything you said I bored in your head. I'm a Borg, half cyborg. This is my war to try to be half human and a machine. Hey, put you in a washing machine. You gotta get the red out your white tee with Visine. This is how I be rhyming, striking, it's lightning. I'm trying to enlighten you dummies. Flip the light switch. I might get sicker, iller, feel like Godzilla. Got a bunch of scales on me when I'm weighing up my zippers. People like, damn, he make his own capsules, and he a rap dude. Where's that Pro Tools? Yeah, I'm an engineer. Listen here, I'm about to make it disappear like it's a magic trick. No tricks up my sleeve, no tracks up my sleeve. Never did no hypodermic needles with no heroin. I'm about to go in though. I'm about to show you how a female can be a hero. That's a heroine though. I'm about to stare you in your eyes, put you on the stairway to heaven when you die. Wait, bye-bye. Hey, this ain't no drive-by. This is just my rhymes. Used to tutor Einstein, gave Buddha enlightenment. This is just me rhyming shit off my consciousness. You might like this shit. You wanna purchase it? Well, just Google me. I'm smoother than your lubricant. You can just move with me, and then you with the movement, bitch. Hey, I'm keeping it relaxed, dummies. While you going, that's 4 ums, and I'm taking all my calcium, magnesium, potassium, and sodium. You got weed, then show me some. Cause if you smoke, then smoke with me. You flow, then flow with me. We'll go to your city. You got goals and my shows, I hope they show titties. This is how we flow quickly. I'm so lyrical, it's supposed to be prolific. When you spit it, I'm unfadable like solid gold afros. But Zane cut his fro down. This is how it go down. This is gravity. I put a hole in your mouth with no cavity. Niggas asking me what happened to me. It used to be a tragedy. I was just a triumph of the tragedy. I used to be in the hood, thinking it was no good, hearing the gunshots from the slugs, and I was like, I should run, or maybe get a gun. I didn't want to grow up being one of them. I wanted to be different, so I switched different lanes, picked a different path, and now my name is Warpath, and I'm on it. I crack your phonograph in half on the warpath. I feel like that was a line. Yeah, that was Inspector Deck's rhyme. It was inside of my mind, cause I'm an archive of hip-hop and a hard rhyme of hip-hop, and my hard drive of hip-hop feel like y'all on Microsoft. You ain't got no hard shit. This is just bar for bar sick, sick, sick. and I'm vomiting, ill. People like, damn, he vomiting, ill. I'ma just spit it clean, spit it mean. You didn't even know my sweet 16s feel like guillotines. And you, Marie Antoinette, asking for cake. Here's the cake then. Smack her on the back of the ass and watch her jiggle. This is just me starting to laugh when I giggle. And the only thing that's going past my maniacal laugh is me sitting back with my monocle glass, feeling like I'm the monopoly man. Get my monopoly cash and I'm taking your land. Training for bees like you Indian or native. I'm about to show you how I'm about to bend it in a second. I'm about to wreck it. I'm about to do it for you, stupid. I'm out in Pluto. I'm getting high, didn't you know? I'm hit you judo. It feel like jujitsu. I hit you, and now you laying on the floor. That's Kenpo. I use your energy against you. This is how I do, fool. This is MMA. Every time I spit this spray, this is just me with that spit that I display on your TV, man. Your aquos, your hot flows. Put it on your zenith. This is that hot shit. This is that me shit. Peace, bitch. 2 fingers in the sky when I wave them. I wave them just like I was just holding. But I'm not holding. I'm not trying to shoot a school up, dummy. You trying to do that, dummy? You got a drum, trying to empty inside a school where there's little children, trying to make them run. That makes me sad. Why would you do that? Yo, I'm getting another beat from Free Tillman. Yeah, man. No need to apologize and say sorry to me. Every time you put on a beat, it's just another party to me. I'll make my particles part in half. I feel like I'm the dude standing with the staff. Moses, that is. Throwing a snake in the grass. So y'all can just grit it. Be careful. It's dreadful. I'm going up a stairwell and it smell pissy. And everybody's trying to get me out of this city. I know I used to date girls with big titties. Now I like the flat chest. I like the opposite. I get hot as lobsters get in pots when you turn up the heat, bro. I'm about to be the heat, boy. I destroy when I heat seek first. This is me first. I used to squeeze perk by the ass so I could see earth. But now I just see the weed first. And then I squeeze it in my lungs, hold it in and blow out the CO2 and watch it blow you down and watch the concrete crack. The statue's been in half and the fucking tree snap. This is just me rapping, snapping, toe tapping, artistry, making tapestry. This is just me with my archery, throwing these darts in your heart, cupidly, stupidly, doing this on this stupid beat, looping beats. This is that Lee shit. Woo, Lee, I mean free. Either way it go, it ain't free. If you wanna buy a beat, yo, you better invest Venmo, Cash App that man. You better go say, damn, that was a dope track, my man. Give him that after that. Yo, I'm after that too, cause I'm back on the track, like your tattoo with the pen, feeling ill. Yo, I'm on point too, like I'm piercing. This is just me lyrical, going in. Green on your head like I'm Paul Pearson. I'm just doing the most, man, on the Smoke Break podcast, and we just had a hot jam.
A hot ass jam. Thank you so much for that amazing freestyle. God damn. All right. Well, that was a risk, and it was a risk worth taking. Yeah. We will be right back with the Smoke Break with Free Tillman. Thank you so much, Jamal. We will see you next time.
Hell yeah.
All right. And we are back with the Smoke Break. We're here every Sunday from 9 to 10 a.m. on Shady Pines Radio, as well as Pretty Dope Experience Radio. I'm your host, your old pal Zane, here with Zoe Schwartz.
Hi.
And Free Tillman.
Hello.
AKA Lee Tillman. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for bringing the beats.
Yeah, man. I'm glad that we got Jamal on it. I wasn't sure it was going. You said 15 minutes. I was like, okay, I'll bring 20 minutes. I'll do whatever.
Well, I mean, when he said he could freestyle, I wasn't sure he was going to be able to do the whole thing, because people can freestyle, but maybe not for that long and that well. But he did it long and well.
Yeah.
So don't you do it, Zoe. Yep, there it was. I did that. So
it would have been wrong if I didn't.
No, it wouldn't have been you if you hadn't. But thank you so much for joining us. So you're a comedian.
Mm-hmm.
You're also a beat maker.
Mm-hmm.
That's got to take focus.
It does, but recently I've been focusing more on comedy more than music. Like, I've been doing music since probably like 2017, like taking it seriously. I've been making music a long time, but like I just take it seriously in 2017. But then like recently I just started, well, I didn't just start doing comedy, but I just got back into doing comedy in 2021, and I don't know, like it started taking off and it started working, and it kind of, I wouldn't say it took my focus too much away from music. I was still creating music, but I've recently decided that I really want to focus mostly on comedy because that's the thing that seems to be working. That's the thing that people like.
Yeah, well, I mean, and there's this.
Money.
Well, the people like the music. They may not know how dope it is just yet, but we'll let them know. But yeah, I think it's important to kind of take some stuff off the table, you know, to create a better sense of focus on the things that we do really care about. Zoe, what's that make you think of?
I don't even know I don't know what that makes me think of.
Okay. Well,
I didn't have an idea.
So that's what happens when you don't focus. But no, you're totally fine. So you're focusing more on you're focusing more on comedy. What do you think is the greatest benefit of putting all your focus into one thing?
Well, I feel like I can probably get more done.
Okay.
I can write. I have more time to write. I have more time to like actually think about what I want to say. Have more time to like try to book shows and do all the other like stuff that's not comedy. All the non-fun stuff.
The poster making.
All that other stuff. So I have time to do all of that because like I can sit down, like I could make music all day. Like that's the type of thing where you can like sit down and you can be in it like all day
and still only come out of it with like one track and be like, damn, that was 8 hours.
Yeah, there's definitely been days where it's just been like, there's nothing happening.
What do you think is like a drawback to, I guess, being focused on multiple things?
Well, your attention just gets pulled away from like you can't really focus as much. Like for instance, like if I wanted to like making music, like I just said, like you can take all day, but like there's been times where it's like, oh, if I could just, focus just a little more time, if I could just, if I had just like 1 more hour.
I definitely know that feeling with like beat making where I'm just like, if I just had a little bit more time, I would put off everything that I wanted to do.
And then when you get back, you don't have that same feeling anymore.
Yes.
Like when you get back to it a day later, you forgot what you were doing. You're not thinking about it. You're not in the same emotional state. So you may not be able to get to where you were trying to go because you were trying to pull yourself in too many different directions.
Yeah, it's harder to get into that flow state when you have to stop. But if you don't have to stop and you can just keep the flow state going, that's where the good shit comes from.
When you're writing, like when you're on a tear, you got a really great joke or you got something you got to just write it about down. Something.
Yeah.
And like if you try to come back to it later, you read and you're just like, what was I talking about?
Yeah, totally.
What are fish knuckles? Like what did I why did I think that was funny?
I want to see that note in your phone just so I can try and piece together what the fuck.
What is that?
Yeah, no, I get it. Well, I've been busy lately with like work and stuff, and I feel like I've been having a hard time writing because it's like my brain just like hasn't been in writing mode, and so I've been like consciously like not listening. Like a lot of time when I'm busy, I'll be like, oh, I'm listening to a podcast when I'm walking, or like I'm always listening to something, and I'm like, that's when you think of jokes. So it's like I've been trying to quiet my mind. And like, when I do have downtime, like go for a walk, like don't bring my phone. Because it's like if I don't have intentional time to sit down to write, it's like I feel like I haven't been able to write a full joke in like a month. I've written like 7 half jokes. I can't finish any of them, and then I'll have a month where I'm just like, boom, full joke.
What do you think is like something that helps you lock in your focus, Zoe?
I don't even know. I don't think with writing jokes, I don't think locking in focus is really how it works. I think it's like giving yourself like 10 minutes or something and then coming back to it or like a couple
But
times
I mean, even like
day.
10 minutes of focus, because like something that like I've recently been experimenting with is like 25 minutes of like actual focus with like a 5-minute break and then kind of breaking that up until like you do it 3 times and then you take a 15-minute break.
Yeah.
Something like that where it's like I put my phone away and I intentionally make sure that like I'm not going to do anything other than the task that I set in front of me. Like as somebody whose brain is constantly like, what am I doing? I'm doing something wrong. I'm not doing everything. I'm not doing, like as somebody who does that, like giving myself 25 minutes, it's not a lot, and because like too much time, you're like, if you sit down, you're like, I'm going to write for 3 hours. You're going to be like, I didn't write for 3 hours. I failed. You say 25 minutes. It's pretty easy to succeed at that. So Lee, what about you? What's something that helps you like lock in your focus?
Well, I actually do like take time like I do typically on a Saturday. I will take 3 hours. I block out a certain amount of time and I will like actually write.
That's
and I'll say I'm gonna do that. Like I have like I kind of force myself to kind of like write. What I do is I get like 10 ideas, like, and it could be anything, like I just bought some new shoes or I got a dog, or like just anything. And then I'll be like, okay, I want to write a joke about that, because generally my style is like mostly like set up punchline.
Right.
So I'm just trying to like write like one joke about like this thing.
Yeah.
And just kind of like, because to me, like the fun thing about comedy to me is writing the jokes. Like it's like a puzzle to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like just trying to figure out when you're like, there's something there. There's a joke somewhere. There's something funny about that. There's got to be, and I'm trying to find like what the angle is that no one else has thought of.
Yeah.
It's something that's my own personal thing. So I'm like, okay, I have like 10 ideas, and then I try to write like 5 jokes.
Yeah, no, I think that's super dope.
When I do that, I go out like every day of the week, the following week, and then I just work on it. And hopefully by the end of the week, I'll have like 3 minutes of material, hopefully.
Yeah. After you've kind of like gone
when you
through
whittle everything down,
Yeah, no, I actually recently had an experience where I told my friend, I was just like, speaking to like the whole short joke thing, I told my friend, I was just like, so I recently got I recently got a hypnotherapist. And then he just waited like I was going to tell a fucking pun. And I was just like, no, I'm just telling you something that happens. I got a hypnotherapist. I don't have any puns for this. Now I have to think of one.
Yeah, now you have to think of a punchline now.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, so what's the joke? You're like, oh, it's just a real thing that happened in my life. They're like, and where's the joke?
Yeah. Oh, I get it.
Because like I probably wrote one in my head and then I didn't even, sometimes I'll do that. Like I'll say something like, I'm like, oh, is that a thing you did? And I'm like, no, is it worth doing? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, I didn't even like, sometimes the shit, like I need other people to point out that there's something funny there, because I just like have a hard time figuring out what's going to be funny to other people, because I say all sorts of shit.
Yeah.
I like that writing technique though. I feel like I need to be more intentional about
well,
writing.
I think like even if you are going to set aside 3 hours, like there's nothing wrong with setting aside 3 hours as long as you're not beating yourself up if it was 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
I feel like focus is such a hard thing to just kind of to make come about, that like if you beat yourself up for not having a perfect amount of it, then you won't recognize that you wrote for 2.5 hours. So, right, real quick before we wrap up, I just wanted to ask you a little bit about what are things that you find break your focus?
When I get a little too far into the research. Like sometimes I'll write a joke and I'm like, I wonder what this word means. What's the origin of this? And then I'll start reading. Then I'm on Wikipedia. What am I doing?
Just getting super distracted.
Yeah, you're just like, what am I doing? So I have to like get back to like what I was actually doing at the time.
Yeah.
That's my biggest thing. It's just like when I feel like I may have gone too far down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
To make sure that I'm not doing that. It's probably the biggest thing.
Well, I think it's just making sure that like you when you set an intention that like you're like, I want to walk out of this with this joke. Anything that's bonus can be bonus, but like if you get too wrapped up in like, I think this is part of the whole thing, then you can end up adding things and not even accomplishing your final goal. So.
Yeah, to me the goal is to, if I say I want to write 5 jokes, that's the goal. So it's not really about time. Like if I can do it in 2 hours, then that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's not really about the time. It's just like if the goal is I want to write 5 jokes, then when I'm done with that, then I'm like, okay.
Perfect.
I'm good.
All right. Well, hey, you are good. You're better than good. You're fucking amazing. Thank you so much for joining us, Free Tillman. That has been The Smoke Break. We are here every Sunday from 9 to 10 a.m. on Shady Pines Radio, as well as Pretty Dope Experience Radio. I've been your host, your old pal Zane, here with Zoe Schwartz.
Bye, everybody.
And Free Tillman.
Bye.
All right. Later, players.